What's up, Gunpla modelers? This is Stryderprime, and today I am going to do my 2016 year in review of all the kits that I made this past calendar year. I made quite a number of kits. I was hoping to make more, but I guess I kind of focused on making my kits, put a lot of quality work into it and didn't have to think about quantity. I said, you know what, let me try to do my kits better than I did the last time. Try to be more professional than I can. Sure, anybody can make a Gundam kit, anybody can paint a Gundam kit, but for me, I wanted to try to do new techniques, new tricks, new ideas, and see where I go. Again, what I do is not completely set in stone, so I always do a variation of something. I try to show off some interesting ideas and hopefully give you guys some ideas as well for your builds. A perfect example is what you're seeing here. It was a nice color repaint of the Amazing Red Warrior, but I made it into the Optimus Prime colors. 2016, I have tried many new things and many new ideas, and a lot of challenges. I pretty much pushed myself and challenged myself to hopefully make a better kit, and I think this was a good a good launch pad for me to go on to do my next series of kits. So let us begin and look at the first model kit that I made for 2016. So the first kit I began building in 2016 had to be the Bandai's 1/44 scale Millennium Falcon from the Force Awakens movie. I got this about maybe before 2016 hit, and I ordered it online on Amazon. And I also ordered the other things as well for this, which I said to myself, you know what, not only is it going to be my first kit, but it's going to be my first entry for MosquitoCon. I did, for the first time, I tried weathering on this kit, trying to see if I get the most out of the detail that I can put into this right now on the kit itself. It had decals that you can put on the areas that you see the colors that is based off the model kit as well. But I decided, you know what, I'm going to paint it because it'd be a lot easier that way. There is, the tan, the turquoise, the red. That came out okay. And I love the stand compared to having it with the actual landing gears. I paid an extra amount of money to get the lights. As you can see, the lights are already starting to fade, so that gave it that extra effect to this kit. I believe there's a third-party company that you can actually get better lights, so you can not only light up the engines, maybe even a lot more brighter, but the canopy and other things as well. It's an amazing model kit for what it is. I have both the cheapy Revell version, and I know that there's a better 1/72nd scale version of this kit, but this one holds a special place for me because I love how it came out. And considering that it was my first ever Star Wars kit I ever made, other than past kits, it really stands out, and I really enjoyed this build. The next kit I began working on was the 1/100 scale Barber Toast Gundam, or Gundam Barber Toast, from the Iron-Blooded Orphans animated series. This was another kit that I wanted to bring to MosquitoCon, and I wanted to do best work I could do on this kit. The pre-shading came out pretty well, even though you can barely see it. But using the Mr. Weathering paint that I had from, I think, Gunzo. No, or is it Tamiya? I forgot what the hell it was. No, Gunzo, that's right. I thought, oh, okay, I did it well on the Millennium Falcon, maybe I could try it on this. However, it was still like a touch and go thing, and trying to figure out how to use that weathering product. And I think I kind of really overdid it. Didn't come out the way I wanted. That and the fact that this thing is a little bit of a wobbly kit. It's not as strong as you would think it is. It looks good in scale and all that stuff, but be prepared for this thing to fall off if you don't have it nice and stable. Especially with that railgun cannon that's holding onto it. It's a shame that you have to actually buy the Type 6 version just so you can get the mace. But I do like the sword, and it came out really nice, especially with the trim color that I did. Not the best paint job, but I still like the kit either way. It's a good kit to get if anybody wants to get a 1/100 scale kit. Next up is the high-grade Gundam Kamaris from the Iron-Blooded Orphans animated series. This is the 144 scale version. There is a 1/100 scale, but I really said, let me get the 144 scale and see how it is. It is pretty nice, very simple. It has the portions of the inner frame that's pretty much the same of the Barber Toast and of the other mobile suits. I could see some interesting work ideas that people would probably try on this high grade, and the 1/100 scale version has a lot more details. I never got myself the Kamaris 1/100 scale, but I did get the Trooper in a surprise little deal from last year. Still, this is a nice kit to get. I wouldn't overlook this. And if you guys get one of the option part sets, it'll have the thrusters in the back, so it shows it flying into space when it was going up against the the regular Gundam, the regular Barber Toast in the fight. My next build was the Gundam Easy SR custom from the second season of Build Fighters Try, or Build Fighters, you could say. But what I decided to do with this kit when I got it was just not a regular repaint, but a redesign or customization of the mobile suit. I added extra bits of Gundam parts from other kits, give it a little bit of detail work here and there, especially in the skirt and on the chest and the shoulders. But for weaponry, I decided to give it more weaponry, as you could see here. The two long-range cannons. Well, one of the long-range cannons was with the original kit, but with the option set, I decided to get the other cannon. And instead of connecting it to the backpack, I decided to connect it to the shoulder, a la Armored Core. For those of you who remember those Armored Core kits, I was originally going to put the two missile packs where the thrusters are, but they were not the same for from one side to the other. They were basically only meant for one side, so I had to omit that. But for handheld weaponry, I really liked. I decided to use those campaign parts, and one of them was a Gatling gun, which the Gatling gun's firing grip was all the way in the back. I said, you know what? It would probably benefit the kit, or benefit the model, if the gun was under the shoulder with the grip there. And I heavily customized the weapon for like all these extra features. This is all from some other model kits as well. A lot of work for that. A lot of work went into this, and it was my first ever, you could say, kit bash. It was pretty much my test bed for things to come. Hopefully, when 2017, for this year, for 2017, I get to try something a little bit more better, or a little bit different. But for now, I'm truly pleased with the work that I did on this kit, and I hope to try it again this year. Last year, Bandai released the Freedom Gundam 2.0, which pretty much shocked everybody, and they loved that kit. And even though I wanted to get it, I forgot that I had this guy in storage, so I began to build it. The original 1/100 scale Master Grade Freedom Gundam from, of course, the Gundam Seed animated series. I got this kit at a surprisingly cheap deal when I went on a flea market binge, and lo and behold, I found this for a nice price of $15. I know, I can't believe that I actually paid for $15. But I said to myself, I'm going to hold on to it for a special occasion, and pretty much it was a special occasion, because not only I wanted to build, I built it in a time when the 2.0 was being released. I said to myself, I gotta metallic paint this, but I want to do it right. I mean, really right. In a series of videos, I began to try to get the most out of my Eloclad 2 paint, which was the only paint I know that can do this type of reflectiveness, as you could see here. trying some, it was basically trial and error until I finally figured out the formula. And the results is what you see here. It is an amazing piece of work that I've put on to this kit. It is one of my favorite builds. My only gripe is the fact that it is a dust magnet, specifically in the metallic blue, or the darker blue. And it is an old kit because the rail guns and on both the wings and the waist unit has a seam line that even though I've tried desperately to sand it down and try to hide it, you still see it. And I've tried as much as I could to at least represent this kit, the best possible way. Nevertheless, it is nice and it's nice and beautiful. And of course, in a famous movie, it's all shiny and chrome. I love it. It's one of my favorite. And I still get asked, will I do this again on the 2.0? The next kit I began working on was the 1/100 scale Grim Gerd, or Grim Gertie, however you want to pronounce it, from the Iron-Blooded Orphans animated series. Not a big fan of mobile suits that's in red. I've obviously seen Char kits and all. Pretty much every other villain kit has to be some variation of red. But I took special consideration on this mobile suit because I love the sword and the binders on its forearms. It is almost, it has a similarity to the inner frame of the Barber Toast Gundam that I built before. I love the little rabbit ears that's on it, so it's one of my favorites, a part of this kit. But the swords was actually caught my attention, and I did pre-shading, which the pre-shading came out really good, especially as you can see here on the binder. When I was working on the swords, going back to that, I decided to try a different, utilizing the same techniques that I learned from the Freedom Gundam. I gloss painted it black, and then I applied 1 or 2 layers of brass, but then I polished it, then apply another layer of brass, polished it again, another layer, polish it again. I did it like 4 or 5 times until you get that nice reflective look that you're seeing right now as the sword is turning about and you see the reflection from the light. It is a nice piece of work right there. I have no gripes on this kit. The only one gripe is the stupid little feet. I don't know why they're making these little feet like so small and tippy-toey. The stability is stupid for this kit. But if you want to have it on a stand, that's great. It came with a machine gun, but I refuse to use it. It looks ridiculous. Nevertheless, the Grim Gertie is a nice kit. I highly recommend you guys get it. Next up is Bandai's Star Destroyer Mecha Collection line from the Star Wars series. I bought this kit again, but this time I bought it on eBay, not on Hobbylink Japan or any other sites, because technically this is not something that Star Wars or LucasArts or Disney wanted out there to everybody to purchase. It was only over there, you could say. You can only get it in Southeast Asia. But that didn't stop me or probably hundreds of other people, thousands of other people who are Star Wars fans to get this. Amazing level of detail on this, especially at this size. It's 3 inches long, about close to 1.5 inches wide. But again, amazing detail. I've shown this later on in the year of 2016. Compared it with another model kit, which we'll review in a moment. But this is still an amazing kit, and I've seen some amazing work by modelers on Facebook detailing it and putting LED lights on this. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. The next kit that I worked on was the high-grade Hi-Moc from the Bill Fighters series, from the Bill Fighters Tri-Series. This was basically a filler kit that I decided to work on, but it served 2 purposes. One, it served the fact that, it was a nice little high-grade quick kit that I recommended many people to get as a starter kit, because I always keep getting asked questions. What is a good starter kit to get? What to try? What is not? This is a perfect example. Plus, it has the ability for many customizations. There's a backpack with a lot of holes in it, and with the campaign parts left and right, you could pretty much load this mobile suit to the brim with weaponry or armor, whatever. But the other reasons why I built it is because it was going to be my test bed for painting. As you could see, the weird combination of colors that you see there, both metallic and red and green and tan and all that stuff. I do that so that way when I spray paint, when I'm preparing some paint, I'll spray it on this kit to see how it looks. Whether if it's too dark, too light, whether I need it a little bit more thinner, maybe a little less thinner. So I use it as a test bed for that. I have another Hi-Moc, so don't worry. This is just basically a throwaway kit, but if I ever decide to do a customization on the Hi-Moc, I'll definitely look into it. Don't overlook this kit if you see it at a great price. You will not regret it. The next kit I begin working on is needs no introduction, but I will introduce it. This is, of course, my custom build of my Ifrit custom desert custom, you could say. I was originally going to build this first before the Grim Gertie, but I was asked kindly by a nice gentleman by the name of Zaku Aurelius to join him and 5 other model builders to a build-off on the Ifrit. I said sure, so I worked on the Grim Gertie, and then I began planning the how I was going to work on this kit. As much as I like blue, I said no, it has to show more of this kit, because blue pretty much hide a lot of detail. So that's why I decided to do a desert theme to it with a little bit of gray trim. It came out, the color pattern came out amazing, and I like how everything fell into place. I wanted to go a bit further, so I heavily invested on photo etch parts. And as you can see, there's little photo etch parts on the shoulders, on the waist unit, on the heavily on the legs, and of course the back of the missile pad. But I thought to myself, okay, with the photo etch parts and all that stuff, we'll make this a nice kit. But I went even a step further. I decided to put LED lights on this, and I did the LED lights on the head, which came out pretty good. And the backpack hides the battery pack, which you can turn on and off. And then I went a bit further and put in LED lights on the thrusters on the backpack and the thrusters on the legs, which of course the missile packs works as a perfect container for the batteries. The batteries is already worn out. I need to get new ones, and I had this at Gundam Planet for about a few months so people can see this. I decided to get it back because I wanted to not only show it to you guys, but I want to retouch up again this kit, repaint some areas that I see a little bit of chipping, and get myself some decals so I can decal this guy up. I intend to bring this to MosquitoCon for 2017 to show it off and compete. It is one of my favorite builds. I put a lot of heart and soul into this, and I think I did pretty good. I would recommend going and seeing the other guys review this video, of course, of me building it, because I put down the list of people, Jordan and Zaku Aurelius and some other gentlemen that right now I'm sorry that I should have prepared this video, this segment, but everybody did a much more amazing job than mine. Mine was okay. Theirs were amazing.